Hi, thank you for joining us here at Tax Talk UK, where we talk about all things tax and consider other important aspects and things that you need to know about if you are self-employed, running a small business, working for yourself. So today we're going to talk about whether you can be self-employed and employed. Before I do, if I could please ask you to take a moment to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way you'll easily be able to refer back to this information if you need to, as well as being able to access the other information which is catalogued in our playlists, which is all aimed at supporting you in your self-employment and running of your small business. So back then to whether you can be self-employed and employed. So there's lots of reasons why people might need or want to be both employed and self-employed. Now, from a tax perspective, there's absolutely no reason that you can't be employed and self-employed. The only real thing to consider is in your employment to consider your contract and whether that allows any other work or whether it allows you to carry out your self-employment. But really that would be the only restriction. So perhaps you are wanting to be self-employed, but you want to just sort of have a little dabble as it were, without actually leaving your employed job. Perhaps you want to be self-employed to make up the hours that you're not getting through your employment. Lots of different reasons. And as I say, as long as your contract for your employed work allows the self-employment, then there's absolutely no reason that you can't do this. Now, from a tax perspective, once you are self-employed, unless you have a turnover of under £1,000, in which case you would be exempt, you will need to submit a self-assessment tax return. And all that happens is that when you submit your self-assessment tax return, or when someone submits that on your behalf, if you have an advisor to do that, you are going to be submitting all of the income from your employed work and the profit from your self-employment. And then your liability for the tax liability for your total income will be assessed. And then what will be taken into account is any tax that's already been deducted from your employed income. And that is in a nutshell how that operates. So there's no reason that you can't do both, as long as your contract allows. You will continue to be paid through PAYE through your employment, and you will, although it has already had the tax deducted at source, you will still declare that income on your self-assessment tax return, but you will also be declaring the tax that's been deducted. So it won't incur you any extra tax. It will just make sure that you're taxed correctly on your self-employed profits. So hopefully that helps you to understand that you can be self-employed as well as being employed. There's no reason. Please just check your contract to make sure your employed work allows that. And then if not, if it does, then that is fine. And you will just need to complete a self-assessment tax return in exactly the same way as if you were only self-employed. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.